Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I'll be breaking down what exactly these teasers are implying that we're seeing from the Star Trek Online social accounts, and I have a couple other bits of news to go through as well, so as always, timestamps to each topic are listed down below. First up, congrats to the team over at STO-League for enduring through 2,048 rounds of the Borg Battle Royale Ground TFO. I don't think that's something I could have done myself. It's not really a matter of difficulty at the higher levels of play. It's more of an endurance test to see how long you're willing to put up with the queue. And they were in there for over 5.5 hours to get through 2,000 rounds. So they could certainly have went further if they'd wanted, but they decided 2048 was a good number to end on, and that's where they stopped. So eventually someone will try to go out and beat them, but for now, congrats to them. I think they've very much won that TFO, and they revealed that the rewards for it are not all scaling up perfectly. The mark rewards are certainly not scaling up, but at least the dilithium is, because they got 155,000 dilithium from that. So again, congrats to them for suffering through that. I think that's a record that will probably stand for quite a while. And it's been a while since I've looked at any of the LinkedIn stuff, but I happened to have had a quick look through earlier, and I found that Jarrod Fisher, the executive producer for Star Trek Online, had announced about a week ago that he had departed Cryptic to work at Dimensional Inc. on DC Universe Online. So I imagine someone from DECA has filled his spot, and hopefully we'll start to see some more communication from DECA sooner rather than later. But you guys may remember Jarrod from the 10 Forward earlier this year, where they did the roadmap of what to expect in the first half of the year. We saw him there, and he had pushed for some of the rewards that we've got from some of the events earlier this year. He's also the one that decided to make the changes to the event campaign per some comments that they made on a 10 Forward stream. Now, alongside that, I did have a couple of things I wanted to quickly mention here from his experience at his time at Cryptic, just that I thought were interesting. So for those of you that like numbers, during his time as executive producer, which is November of 22 up through July of 24, he had pushed player engagement with events up to 70 to 80%, which I just thought was an interesting figure there. I mean, everyone that plays this game and engages with YouTube, Reddit, the Discord, and so on knows that participating in the events is crucial, and you can see that the numbers there really show that that message has resonated with most of the player base. And another thing here is that in his time as lead producer and senior producer, he had created and maintained a repurposed digital store that exclusively sells older, often hidden items in the game. It is now the third highest revenue generator in the game. So the question there is that Phoenix or the Mud store? I assume it's probably Mud's, but I just thought that was an interesting figure there. And to Jarrod, I wish you the best. Thank you for everything you did in your time over at Star Trek Online, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors. And the big topic is these teasers that we've been seeing from the Star Trek Online social feeds and from Thomas. So back in June, Thomas had tweeted out that they are cooking in the Star Trek Online shipyards, meaning that there's some interesting ships upcoming. And then on June 23rd, Thomas tweeted out this color hex code, which is a pinkish color. Now on July 5th, we got the first teaser from the main STO Twitter account, and this has caused a lot of confusion. You've got people thinking that there's a new user interface incoming, a new game mode. I've even seen people with the second teaser thinking that there's going to be a carrier rework, and none of those are the case. As Thomas tweeted, they've got some interesting ships upcoming, and timing-wise, we've had C-Store bundles launch in the end of July the past couple of years. And that is all that this set of teasers is for. It is for an upcoming C-Store bundle that is composed entirely of ships from older Star Trek games. The first teaser here is showing us a user interface that is photoshopped to look like Star Trek Armada. And if you look at that color hex code Thomas put out, the one of the main ships from Armada is the USS Premonition, which has a pinkish nacelle temporal drive thing at the top of it. And it's not an exact match with the picture here, to that exact pink color, but the picture from that game is rather low res because it's a game from like 20 something years ago. So I think it's close enough to say that is probably the ship we're going to be getting here from this bundle. Now for the second teaser, this is showing us a Valkyrie fighter with a targeting reticle at the center and a user interface very similar to what you'd see in Star Trek Invasion. Now, the Valkyrie fighters have been in the game for a while. Back when they were released in 2022, a few of us were thinking that the Typhon carrier, which is also in Star Trek Invasion, would launch alongside them. But that wasn't the case. And at the time, Thomas, I believe on the 10 forward, said that he didn't think people would want this ship, and he was, surprised to hear how many wanted it. So here we are a couple years later, and it looks like we're finally getting it. So this isn't a carrier rework like I've seen some people think it is. It's just implying, that we're getting a ship from Star Trek Invasion, which is most likely the Typhon. Now, for the third ship, we obviously don't know what that is yet. The next teaser is going to drop on July 19th, but I have seen a lot of people hoping that it's going to be the Achilles from Dominion War. So if we see a user interface being teased next week that is similar to what you see in Dominion War, then it's probably the Achilles. Now, this C-Store bundle, we don't have all the specifics on it yet, but, these C-Store bundles that have launched in July the past couple of years, they have been purely fed ships, and I do expect that trend's going to continue, especially given that it appears the first two ships here, the Premonition and the Typhon, are both fed ships. I expect the third one will be also. Now let's talk about this code. With the first teaser, we thought that this would be the release date. We thought it was either going to be August 15th or July 23rd. And again, July 23rd would line up closely to when these past bundles have released in July the past 2 years. But that appears to not be the case. So the code here appears to be representing bundle repeated 7 times. Now, it's only the first 4 letters here, and the last 2 letters would come with the third teaser. But if you type out bundle and then you rotate the letters 13 times, and then you translate those letters into the corresponding number form, that lines up with what we see here. So bundle repeated 7 times. This is July, the 7th month in the year. So to me, this represents it meaning bundle, for July. And again, that lines up with past releases. So that's what I think it is. And after I posted that in Discord, and Pundis saw it, about 15 to 20 minutes later, I saw this tweet pop up from Kale. So it's possible someone else was right. But I think that lines up with everything that we're seeing here. So for those of you that are thinking that this is going to be a UI revamp, a new game mode, or a carrier rework, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. This is, in my opinion, simply a set of teasers for a C-Store bundle. And I expect that C-Store bundle to drop on PC near the end of July. And for those of you over on console, if it's anything like the past couple of years, it'll be there sometime around the middle to end of August. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down below, but I think that's pretty much the code cracked. And that's going to be it for today. As always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.